Welcome back, everybody. It's time for a Sluzcast.
Hello everyone, I'm Sluzcast / Noise of Carpet, and I am back today with a quick new shoutcast from one of the first games on the new match that has come with the patch that just arrived yesterday. This patch has brought a lot of good balance changes. I think people will be pretty happy with most of them. Some nerfs for both the Ostheerp and the Soviet faction, including the much anticipated and desired nerf to the strafing run. Also some nerfs to hit the dirt, and Panzer IV has actually gotten a little bit nerfed too against infantry, while other units have had their scatter values decreased, which makes them actually more effective. So we might see some more Brumbar usage. That's a tier 4 unit from the Ostheerp. Probably don't know it because no one uses it. But yeah, anyway, alright, so I'm not going to go into the balance patch changes because I'm not a super balanced guy. I don't know every little stat. I'm more interested in gameplay. And today we have a game just posted between Itaperuna, a Brazilian player. He is the recent champion of a Brazilian COH1 tournament, and IronR0man, who I think was well known in COH1 for being a really top Brit player a year or so ago. And so this should be a pretty interesting face-off. We've got Langreskaya. This is the winter version, and it does look pretty much like Langres did in COH, with fewer points. Obviously you don't have those +5 uni points, +5 fuel points near the bases, things like that, but otherwise the cutoffs are exactly the same. This is a cutoff, the one I'm pointing to, for the north side, and this one down here is the cutoff for the south side. And we've got a really big haystack there. That's new. I think there was a building there in the original version. Now it's a gigantic haystack, so I think you probably hide stuff behind it, trying to do ambushes. Let's see, what do we got out now for Itaperuna, who is playing Ostheerp. He has got 2 Grens and 2 POs, making a 3rd Grenadier. So really infantry heavy start for Itaperuna. Looks like he wants to play a very mobile game, given that he's not made an MG. We'll see if he does end up making one and trying to consolidate. And IronR0man on the other side is pretty much spamming conscripts. So he's got 3 out already, 4 now. Itaperuna being very aggressive early and pushing right up to the cutoff over here on IronR0man's base, which will disconnect him from this ammo and this fuel, which he did cap but is now cut off, and also making a rush for the VP right next to IronR0man's base. So very, very aggressive Ostheerp start. I do like that you can do that with Ostheerp in this game, as opposed to camping a lot more with Wehrmacht in COH1. And IronR0man getting pushed back a little bit. He was down here. He's actually also capped this fuel, but it's not connected. He's going to get his other fuel connected though here. But this guy is outnumbered right now by a PO squad and a Grenadier squad. So he might want to think about retreating, and there he goes. Itaperuna has also capped the 2 middle VPs. But already a cutoff by IronR0man here in the south, cutting off Itaperuna. This is going to disconnect him, even though he's gotten this gotten that fuel back. So it's pretty standard stuff. If you guys remember COH1, there's usually very quickly in the game a battle right around this point, because it's near the cutoff point, near the base. It was pretty easy for the player who started in south to just go up here and try to push over, and they also usually tried to do that because they had this nice green heavy cover behind those hay stacks. And we're seeing the exact same thing in the COH2 version, with 3 conscripts facing off against 2 already wounded and lower health squads. Oh wow, and run rifle nade causes a mass retreat. Didn't actually do that much damage, but I think that was sort of just a maybe overreaction to the rifle nade. Oh, and the grenadier squad already has gone down for Itaperuna. That's unfortunate. This conscript's hurrahing up into the green cover, so now he's got a pretty good chance of beating off this now vet grenadier squad. Let's see, pioneers recapping that point. He still hasn't connected this fuel. And IronR0man is healing up. He's already gotten the healing upgrade. No buildings yet, so it looks like he's just going to continue to conscript spam for a while. See if he can't just do some more harassment until he techs up into something that might do some more damage to Itaperuna's infantry. Itaperuna, meanwhile, is already teched up to battle phase 2. He is building the light mechanized company, so I would expect to see some panzer guns, possibly a half-track or scout car out for Itaperuna soon. And these 3 conscripts very nicely spaced out. Look at his positioning here. One behind, two were behind the hay bale barrels, and 1 just off to maybe flank if there happened to be an MG coming up. But no MGs at all for Itaperuna, so IronR0man's not going to be able to push back out with his conscripts. Recap this VP. Always important to do in competitive games. You really don't want to let those things tick down too far, and so you should grab them while you can, especially if you've already got the resources you need. And we're already starting to see some vet on some squads, because those are pretty intense infantry battles early on. They were doing quite a bit of damage to each other. And what is that? I hear a motor. That is the half-track. Good first unit, especially since from the battle phase 2 building, especially since he hasn't seen any clown cars, so he doesn't need a scout car, an upgun scout car, to combat those. And these 3 grenadiers did a number on that conscript. If you notice, he did hit the dirt there, but I think about half his guys were probably in yellow cover. So with the hit the dirt nerf, that yellow cover will no longer stack, so he really wasn't getting the defensive bonuses that you did only a day ago from that ability. So he was chewed up very quickly still by the 3 grenadiers. Oh, and a fast Flammenwerfer from Itaperuna. That will definitely help him against this conscript spam until IronR0man gets some nades or some other counter to it. And very quick tech now by IronR0man. He's already put up the sport weapon Campanilla and gone straight to the mechanized armor Campanilla. So might see a T-34 or sorry, not T-34, SU-76 or SU-85 early to counter this Flammenwerfer. And that Flammenwerfer coming out what they call in COH a shock unit, just because it can really change the tide of a game really quickly. And a doctrine chosen for IronR0man too. He has gone the much used guard rifle, which gives you hit the dirt, an SMG upgrade for your conscripts, and a howitzer and strafing run. So pretty standard choice for many 1v1 players. Though we'll see. Let's see how this hit the dirt nerf works out. According to what I've read, since it doesn't really stack with cover anymore, the time to really use it is when you're on a road in red cover, so you can get some instant cover without without having to go hide behind a bush or something. And those guys hit the dirt sure didn't help them there against that Flammenwerfer. It doesn't look like he's gotten 18 because I haven't seen a single 18 thrown yet. Let me just check his HQ real quick to see if he's gotten any. No, he still has not upgraded 18 That's interesting. He, looks like he wants a mechanized counter to this half track. And he's lucky, I would say, that Itaperuna has not just decided to drive into his base and try to roast some guys, because IronR0man is having to treat every single squad out on the field right now as soon as the Flammenwerfer drives up, and it's quickly gaining vet. Already killed 6 guys, got itself vet 1, which gives it infantry awareness, which I never see anybody use, but you know, it's there. And we also have a scout car out. Oh, and the conscript squad just went down, hit the dirt. Some definite nerfs there. It just did not allow that conscript to take as much damage as it did yesterday. So these Panzer should still be able to hurt these guys fairly well with the scout car backing it. I'm curious to see how this fight works. Hit the dirt, activated again. Panzer taking a lot of damage. Health bar very low. He's got to be careful there. It might actually die to this 2-man conscript squad, but oh, very lucky. They both have to retreat. Nearly lost squads. What else we got up here? Flammenwerfer continuing to be used just as a area denial unit, not really doing anything very super offensive with it. Itaperuna looks pretty content just to keep his half of the map, not pushing too hard up here. But he has managed to do some pretty good harassment on IronR0man, decap that ammo. Hasn't decapped that fuel in a while or cut him off, but pretty good. Oh, it looks like the half-track just hit a mine. I wonder where that mine went down. This was a map that was very noted for its mine usage, especially around this middle VP, where not only will a mine deny you, or possibly deny you a cap on the VP, but it will hurt any vehicles that drive on these roads. Rifle nade going off, driving off those guys. Oh, Su-85's already out for IronR0man, and that just instantly killed his scout car, so he's got to be much more careful with his Flammenwerfer now. And a little blobbing by IronR0man here, but effective, especially when you want to push in one area. Sometimes you have to squeeze all your stuff together. Flammenwerfer, though, continuing to be used for harassment. These hit the dirt. These guys are gonna hit the dirt, but hit the dirt has no effect against flame damage. So nearly died. If you can chase him down, keep reversing. Oh, and he gets the squad kill. Nice little victory there for Itaperuna. So hit the dirt, activated again. Oh, but bundle nade goes off, and those conscripts just beat it. You saw the Flammenwerfer drive up, so wise retreat on Itaperuna's part right there to get that squad out of there before it got either the nade or burned much. And looks like IronR0man's going to try to do a little harassment over here on the fuel. Really think maybe just one MG could have helped. Or sorry, did I say IronR0man? I don't know. Their names both start with I. Oh, hit the dirt seems to be failing IronR0man a lot, especially against these Panzer with their MP44s. But IronR0man is doing a little bit of harassment over here. But there's a sniper out for Itaperuna. That's interesting. Good choice on his part, since hit the dirt. He doesn't want to get some of his infantry close to those conscripts because they do have those SMGs. So sniper is a pretty good counter for someone who's using hit the dirt still and SMGs, so he can engage them from a long distance rather than getting too close to them with his grenadiers, who don't have any upgrades right now. In fact, I don't think Itaperuna even has a single LMG on his grens. He spent a lot of ammo on this Flammenwerfer, so no LMG upgrades. But I'd say Itaperuna is doing a very good job keeping his Flammenwerfer alive soon. It's tempting to use it on parts of the map where you shouldn't use it. And since this Su-85's out now and there's no counter to it, he's got to be extra careful with that Flammenwerfer. I love saying the word Flammenwerfer. That's the only German word I can say with a German accent. I don't know why. And yeah, let's see how these Grenadiers stand up to all these guys with their SMGs. I'm getting some vet. Both squads pop double vet 2 there. So now this is a good use of it. He's right on this in this red cover. Actually, it's still yellow cover. Very odd. I thought that was a road, but I think this snow is actually a yellow cover. So he's probably not getting any bonus there, but if you don't need to maneuver, you might as well hit it anyway, I guess. And this squad also in deep snow. That's what that indicator means. If you didn't know what that like blinking snowflake with an exclamation point means, it doesn't mean danger snow. Well, actually, it does. It's deep snow. So that means if you move through that, your troops just move a lot slower. And just an FYI. If you are in deep snow, like tossing nades is a lot more effective because even if your opponent reacts in time, the deep snow prevents those infantry from moving quickly, so they will probably take a lot of damage from the nades you toss at them. Oh, I just heard some infantry squad go down there. Not sure who that was. And what is IronR0man gonna do? Doesn't look like he's making much. He's got 500 manpower, 110 fuel. Perhaps a Katyusha might be good against some of this infantry, as Itaperuna has now gotten a pack out. So that is a pretty hard counter to an Su-85, and he's gonna have to maneuver that around more carefully as well. But if he looks like he wants to hunt down the Flammenwerfer, can he see it? He can't see it, but he seems to have a good idea of where it is, and he's going right after that Flammenwerfer, which is not going to be able to get back into its base in time, I don't think. Oh, and a little Su-85 kiss on the Flammenwerfer. The Flammenwerfer providing some warmth back. Little token of affection before he is killed by the Su-85. So now the Flammenwerfer is no longer a problem. Itaperuna doing surprisingly bad all of a sudden. IronR0man has managed to push up with all those conscripts and grab both fuels on the map. And he's desperately trying to get a shot off on this pack, but IronR0man, using the fog of war and the blizzard to his advantage, just pulling it back around this building where that pack won't be able to hit it. And Itaperuna has decided that I'm not going to get it, I'm not going to try to get it, so he's just moving it back to the middle, moving his AT back to the middle so he can be prepared for the next thing that comes out of IronR0man's base. I have to say on this map, I'm a little disappointed in the buildings. Langres had a better variety of buildings. These are both wooden and boring. If you remember, the COH1 Langres had a hard building here, which is very important to get. And this one on to the closer to the Ostheerp base was just wood, so that was one you didn't want to get into because it would be damaged really easily. And we haven't seen that much building usage. No MGs, and MGs like to go in these buildings. But yeah, all these buildings, like they're about the same level of health. And obviously there's, for some reason, Russians don't have stone in COH2. I'm pretty sure there are stone buildings in Russia, but we don't see them much in COH. Everything's just wood. Oh, and this combat engineer needs to get out of there. I don't know what he was doing up there. IronR0man using hit the dirt to slightly more safely cap the VP. Oh, rifle grenade does nothing. Yeah, it looks like pretty much nothing from that rifle nade. But So if I'm facing hit the dirt, I usually consider getting mortar. I think Itaperuna kind of benefited from a mortar. Maybe actually not so much the MG. I can see why Itaperuna thought it might be a good idea to go just pure Grenadier spam, because this is a map it's really wide open, and MGs aren't as useful as you might think. Especially since this is different. I noticed this. You might have an MG back here to cover your cutoff at some point, but since you can flank this way, you can flank that way, you can flank that way, MGs don't seem as useful. Though I still wonder if an MG in this house ought to be able to cover this strat point. But that used to be a fuel point, and the fuel point's now in the corner. So this house doesn't have the strategic importance it did in COH1 either. An SU-85 has found this PZ4, which is rolled onto the field, and I'm really curious to see how the PZ4 does now against infantry, as I understand the changes to it have reduced its effectiveness for infantry, which should make the game a little more interesting. We might see, instead of Panzer IV spam, maybe some Panzer IVs with Oswins. So, yeah, I think that change is good in encouraging usage of the other units and giving each vehicle a more specific role in the game and encouraging the use of combined arms. It's a bit of a face-off here. Panzer IV can't do anything because it's SU-85. SU-85 can't do anything because of this pack. And some harassment over here on the fuel by IronR0man. Now let's see how these guys stand up. They are in... I'm not sure. I don't understand if the hit the dirt's causing the yellow cover icon to appear, or if that's actually yellow cover there for some reason. It ought to be red cover or negative cover. Very odd. Yeah, okay, so that icon does just appear when you are activated. Alright, now I understand that better. So notice that, everybody, if you are in red cover, there'll be nothing, or maybe on roads you'll actually see the red cover icon, but when you use hit the dirt, suddenly there'll be yellow cover there. So no real big battles so far. Oh, SU-85 took another hit from that pack. That's not good. And an artillery officer out for Itaperuna. Not sure what he's planning on doing with that. It does give... he's got a nice smoke barrage ability, which you might consider using. Also, concentrated fire, which is sort of like an inspired assault for any nearby troops, is actually pretty good. I don't see many people use it, but it is really good. And he's got... coordinated barrage, was known as Victor Target in COH1, where you could have all your artillery fire at the same spot, I think regardless of range. Oh no, only already in range. Oh, bet 3 Panzer guns for Itaperuna, excuse me. Those will come in handy. You better keep a careful eye on them. And what is IronR0man doing back here? So this is what he's been doing. He's also built the Tankovy, and he's building T-70s. Interesting. Interesting. Not using them. Looks like he's doing a sort of, maybe preparing for a blitz on the enemy forces. With maybe 2 or 3 T-70s backed by his infantry and SU-85. These do shred infantry really well. 3rd T-70 being produced. Interesting. Artillery up for Itaperuna. Firing, where's it firing? Firing directly at IronR0man's base, but unfortunately he's missed everything. Pretty high scatter on the Ostheerp artillery piece, unfortunately, but it's good for area denial because it fires for such a long time. His base will probably be being barraged for at least like another 30 seconds here. Oh, it did. T-70 did take a hit. So I wonder if he's noticed that when artillery hits, you can see in the fog of war stuff being hit. So hopefully Itaperuna has taken note of the of what got hit there, but then again he might not have been looking, and that will be to his detriment as these T-70s come rolling onto the field. So no additional armor for Itaperuna. I'm not sure what he's spent a lot of manpower on this artillery piece, so it looks like he's only going to have this one Panzer IV out for a little bit. And IronR0man pushing this fuel once again. Very good harassment. A couple of grenadiers driving off this conscript squad. And Panzer IV driving off. I think not nearly as much damage. Usually a direct hit like that from the main gun would kill a couple of guys. That just sniped one guy. That was it. So definitely looks like you might be needing Oswinds, guys. Panzer IV just might not cut it. Artillery piece continuing to fire. He's got another pack. No, same pack. He just reinforced it. Oh, those pilots are gonna die. But he did manage to grab the VP, so that's good. And victory points pretty even. Usually on Langres, we just saw this middle VP changing hands, and that's exactly the same thing is happening on the COH2 version. Artillery officer pushing up. It might be interesting to see if he builds more than one howitzer. This could be helpful for killing a large concentration of forces from IronR0man, but yeah, I don't know if this artillery officer is helping him out really that much. But Itaperuna does have some pretty good infantry. He's got 2 Vet 3 squads, 3 Vet 3 squads now, and 1 Vet 2 squad which just died. Oh, that Vet 3 squad. Oh God. Look what IronR0man's done with these T-70. He's pushing out. And pushing up with his Su-85. Wow, interesting tactic. Pack firing on the Su-85, misses. Oh wow, really big push here. Pack gets Vet 2, but these T-70s are swarming it. It's going to quickly go down. He is focusing fire. Everything is just focus fired on that pack. Even this Panzer IV will take damage from 4 T-70s. And with his Su-85 in support, this Panzer IV is essentially nullified for the moment. Unfortunately, Itaperuna just doesn't have any other anti-tank infantry. He's only had the 1 pack. Oh, wow. And then a base rush here from IronR0man. Oh my God. He just tried to fire his RD at where all these tanks, IronR0man's tanks were, but they've all just moved into his base. Decrewing the artillery piece. Another T-70's gone down. So IronR0man's lost 2 of them, but this push is devastating. And what happened to his Panzergrens? I think while he wasn't paying attention, his Panzergrens died. Oh, and Itaperuna pushing into the base here. Looks like he's going to just shoot in the bunker. Panzer IV being repaired. Another pack coming in, try to help out against all these tanks, but see if he can get a shot in. What's he going to target? T-70 is the anti-infantry or the Su-85? I would go for the Su-85. And he is firing at that Su-85. Free shot doesn't do a lot of damage though, unfortunately. PC4 now moving back up. Oh, these T-70s are circling around the back of the pack again. He's trying to reinforce it, but it's going to go down really quickly. There it goes. Another Panzer IV is just rolling onto the field. But without any infantry, with no way to disable these tanks, but like a Panzer Faust or a Panzer Shrek to do extra damage. Not good. Oh, well, another T-70 goes down. Second T-70. All the T-70s are dead, but IronR0man has basically all his infantry left. And Itaperuna has none. Except for this one lone grenadier squad still hanging out in this building. Oh, and one Panzer IV has already gone down to this Su-85, which backed out. He didn't really maneuver that too well. He should have come around the back and tried to get a flank on where IronR0man wasn't expecting it, but instead, I think, in a fit of rage, I think he just drove it straight out of his base to try to get the kill in on that. I would be pissed if T-70s, 3 T-70s just drove into my base and killed all my stuff too. But yeah, you gotta keep a cool head. You gotta think tactically. You gotta think strategically. Even if you're behind. And this would have been possible to come back from if Itaperuna had infantry alive and if he'd been a little better with his Panzer IV. His Panzer IVs. But unfortunately, yeah, he just doesn't have any infantry on the field left. And this Grenadier squad is be way deep behind enemy lines. Another Su-85 is rolled out. Looks like a strafing one ran in on the single Grenadier squad. So IronR0man really trying to put the nail in the coffin here. And showing off a little bit, I would say. He's got the ammo. Normally you wouldn't waste that much ammo on a single squad, but I think IronR0man is just showing him I have this game won. 240 munitions for that ability. Yeah, IronR0man is just showing him I have this game run. I'm gonna strafe the single squad you have left. Just leave the game. Another sniper from Itaperuna, or maybe his sniper actually lived. I'm pretty sure. No, that's not. They can't possibly be the same sniper. Another Panzer IV rolls out. There are 2 Su-85s now. Damaged engine from a 18 aid, or possibly a mine. And that Panzer IV is dead too. So I'd say that's pretty much GG. Another Panzer IV can roll onto the field, but it's not going to have any more luck than its compatriots. So we're going to have to call this one now in favor of Itaperuna. Little sniper revenge, maybe. I mean, call this one for IronR0man. Sorry, damn, guys, why do you have the same first letter in your name? That's annoying. Don't do that. Have funnier names. Panzer IV desperately trying to get a strafe, or circle strafe these 2 Su-85s. Yeah, not gonna happen. Though they do turn slower. The Panzer IV can get around them, but and he does get around them, but the Su-85 is going to be able to just chase him back down here. I love these snipers from Itaperuna. It's just like, yeah, you won, but I'm going to kill some stuff anyway. So, pretty funny on his part. And 2 Su-85s and a T-70 and another new T-70 in Itaperuna's base. Gonna start shooting his production buildings. Maybe kill off that last Pioneer squad. And that is game over. So interesting tactic from IronR0man there. I think just the fact that more armor didn't roll onto the field really hurt Itaperuna. He built a howitzer instead, and IronR0man, I think maybe even before he saw the artillery piece that his opponent had spent that much manpower in artillery, had begun producing the T-70s to try to do a T-70 rush, and that and I think he did calculate correctly. Well, looks like there's only one Panzer IV in the field. My opponent might be trying to go for tier 4 or do something else weird, so let me take this opportunity to make a lot of T-70s, go in there, kill all his infantry, and pretty much end the game that way. So pretty interesting tactic. How could Itaperuna have stopped that? Well, mines. Basically mines. Having these Grens more closer to his Panzer IV to get some Panzerfaust in on those T-70s. His pack was up pretty far. And just one more Panzer IV. The T-70s would be T-70s and Su-85s could not handle two Panzer IVs, I don't think. So if he'd had an additional one or just a Stug, that really would have helped him at least keep map control, keep some of his grenadiers alive. Anyway, good game. Good first replay. Not the most thrilling game I've ever seen, but you got a look at Langres. Yeah, like as they said, it is pretty much the same with fewer resource points, and anything you used to like to do on Langres in COH1 should work on this map too. So hope you enjoyed the cast, everybody, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.